Hey everyone, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. Tonight I'm going to be discussing a new grading company, pack grading company that has recently emerged in the market. And it's a company called Collector Archive Services. And they're a company that prior to entering the pack grading game, they were toy and video game graders. And this is a company that they have, their goal is to basically try to be a much more expedited pack grading service, a much quicker turnaround time than PSA, and to have a flat rate to authenticate and to grade unopened packs. And they're charging $25 per pack, right? Which it's a flat rate. I have some notes here, so forgive me. So they're promising a flat rate, faster turnaround time. They also grade cello packs and rack packs. Okay, and I'm going to show you a few packs that have been graded by them right now, and so you can see what I'm talking about here. And then I'm going to come back and discuss a little bit more about this company and some serious issues that are already being noted by people in the unopened community. So talk to you in a minute. So you've seen, some of the wax packs that have been slabbed. It's not a bad looking holder or anything like that. There's a number of other services that are also provided by this company. They will grade full wax boxes, and they'll also encase in a protective plastic full wax boxes that have been wrapped by other companies such as Baseball Card Exchange or Ripping Vintage Packs. The problem here with this company, and this has been exposed today on the Facebook, some of the unopened groups on Facebook, they lack transparency on who their authenticators are. With unopened material, it's very important to know the background of the authenticator to make sure you actually have someone that is an experienced expert in the authentication of unopened packs. They're a company that I'm sure they do a great job with toy and video game authentication, unopened toys and video games and things of this nature, grading, these types of things. I'm sure they do a great job. But they've repeatedly, because they say they have, basically, they're legally not allowed to say who the main authenticators are or how many there are or anything like that. And there was actually quite a testy exchange today on Facebook with one of the employees of this company and with members of this, the unopened community, myself included. We got to do a little bit of a testy exchange. I only had one brief comment. Some people were very detailed in their comments, but they're not identifying who their authenticators are. And that's a major, major problem. And because if you send something to Baseball Card Exchange, right, Steve Hart is the authenticator, and we know that. And we know Steve's background. We know Steve is damn good at what he does, maybe the best in the world at what he does. If you send something to Ripping Vintage Packs, you know Kurt Christensen is looking at it. And if there's a decision made regarding whether a pack or a box is good or not, you know exactly who looked at it, and they'll be able to explain how they made that determination. Right? So it's very important to have transparency in the authentication game. When you send a pack to get graded to PSA, Steve Hart is the authenticator for PSA. So before they assign a pack a grade, Steve Hart looks at the pack to determine if it's good or not. So even with PSA, we know who the authenticator is for packs. They are not transparent at all as of yet. about who their authenticators are. And they say that there's a lot of just jargon that they used. We have a number of qualified experts that have been in the collecting hobby for many decades and have lots of experience. They've been very vague and evasive, and they essentially are refusing to identify who their authenticators are. And identification is everything in this, and I think this is very, very shady. This doesn't bode well for the company. If you're going to try to take on PSA at anything, you're going to need to be transparent about who your authenticators are for unopened material. Do you have more than one? Do you just have one? Do you have five? Right? What's the process for determining? How do you go about determining if a pack has been tampered with? Why should anybody trust you in the unopened community? Why? We just take your word for it that you have experts that are looking at stuff? Who's going to send something to you rather than sending something to Baseball Card Exchange? Especially if you have the intention of reselling an unopened pack or a rack pack or something. They grade rack packs, this company. What's going to stop? What incentive does anybody have to send anything to you? Other than if they want a really, really cool, they do, to be fair to them, they do have some really cool encased in acrylic. They actually use acrylic to encase boxes that have been wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange or by Ripping Vintage Packs. And that's pretty cool to have protection. And that's one of their big points, it seems like, in their PR video they did today. Protecting unopened boxes that have been authenticated by someone else. Fine. Fine. The protection part of it, providing a service to protect boxes that have already been authenticated by other companies, I have no problem with that. I do have a problem with you stepping into the authentication game and not being transparent about your authentication process or who your authenticators are. That's a major problem, and I will not be sending anything to this company. Number one, I don't. Why would I need to get rag packs graded? And number two, Steve Hart provides a very solid service, and trust him way more than I would trust a company that wouldn't disclose who their authenticators are. And so, it's important. Transparency is everything in this business. And so I just wanted to do a video about this, and I'm sure I'm not doing justice to the full range of services that they provide. They do a lot of stuff and a lot of good for collectors. If you collect toys or video games or things like this, I'm sure they're a very reputable company. But I will not be sending cello packs to them to get graded. I will not be sending wax packs to them to get graded. I will not be sending rack packs to them to get graded. I will not have any part of this unless they're transparent about their sources. And there was even an employee of Baseball Card Exchange who got on the group today and kind of took them to task for the lack of transparency. So it doesn't mean they're not a good company at other things, but I think they've stepped out. They're definitely outside their wheelhouse now. So just wanted to talk about that tonight. Let me know your thoughts below. But again, the company, if you want to look them up yourself, it's Collector Archive Services. Collector Archive Services. Give them a look. I don't think I've been too unfair to them, and I think what I've said so far has been fair, especially given what some of my other pack collecting friends have. We have similar concerns. So, but hope you all are doing well. Hope you all have a great night, and I'll be back with another video soon. Got a major rack pack coming in the next couple of days, wrapped by BBCE, of course. Keep collecting vintage baseball.